Thank you very much. Thank you, Brooke. And what a job she does. Come here. Come here. Well, thank you very much, and we appreciate you being at this incredible evening, Mar-a-Lago, and we love you, and we love this place. It's done so much good, raised so much money for so many different things, and especially charity, and we're honored to have you all here. And Brooke, for the incredible introduction. When you say I'm the best leader you've ever met, ever seen, that's a pretty good statement, because you've seen a lot of them. That's a beauty, but thank you very much to Brooke and the incredible, speaking of leadership, of America First Policy Institute, because the job you've done is just incredible in such a short period of time, too. Let me also recognize so many wonderful friends and distinguished guests with us this evening, including Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. Hi, Cindy, wherever you may be. A lot of people here. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. North Carolina Lieutenant Governor, a real star, a great guy, friend of mine, Mark Robinson. Thank you, Mark. Carrie Lake, who just went through an incredible election. There were a lot of broken voting machines. You heard that, lots of them. They happen to be in largely Republican areas, and what happened there is a disgrace. But I want to just tell you, you did some job, Carrie, and I know it's not over yet. A friend of mine and a great gentleman, Ronnie Jackson, Congressman Ronnie Jackson. Jason Smith, Buddy Carter, Claudia Tenney, a very quiet person that we like very much, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Another tough couple of guys, Scott Perry and Dan Muser. Thank you, fellas. That's great. Somebody who just ran an incredible race, and another friend. They're all friends. They're warriors. Mary Miller. Louis Gomert. Louis, thank you. Diana Harshbarger. Thank you, Diana. Beth Van Dyne, congratulations, Beth. A strong man, a warrior, Clay Higgins. Clay, thank you very much. Great job, Clay. Barry Moore, first person to endorse Trump a long time ago. Thank you. Thank you, Barry. Alex Mooney, who just ran a great race. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. J.T. Thompson. Thanks, J.T. Good job. Michelle Fishbach. Thank you, Michelle. John Carter. Thanks, John. Russ Fulcher. Thank you. Thank you. Jack Bergman. Kat Kamek, Florida. Guy Ressenschaler. We have everybody here tonight. Thank you, Guy, very much. Thanks. Representative-elect, a man who is going to be a future star, I predict, Wesley Hunt. And another one, Chuck Edwards. Great job. Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes. Thanks, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose. Thank you, Frank. Alabama Secretary of State, where we won by so much. He said, how can you possibly win Alabama by that much? And South Carolina by records, both records, and then you lose Georgia? How does that happen? They're still wondering about that. Records, and a loss by just a little bit. Secretary of State John Merrill. That's a good question. Thank you, John. And I want to also thank my friend Linda McMahon and Speaker Newt Gingrich and Larry Kudlow is getting very good ratings, Larry. I watch a lot, and you get very, very good ratings. That's very impressed. We're going to have to start calling you the ratings machine, right? John Ratcliffe. Where is John? I love John. Where the heck is John? There's that guy that's a warrior. And countless former officials. We have tremendous people, ambassadors, all in the Trump administration. We have a tremendous group of people, and I attribute it so much to what this whole America First movement stands for and represents, and the job that Brooke and everybody does. It's a tremendous honor to be with you. Before we begin, I want to address the appalling announcement today by the egregiously corrupt Biden administration and their weaponized Department of Justice. Would you like me to talk about that? Larry, would you like me to talk about that? This horrendous abuse of power is the latest in a long series of witch hunts. It started a long time ago. I thought the investigation with the document hoax was dying or dead or over, and the investigation into January 6th, in my very peaceful and patriotic speech, remember? Peaceful and patriotically, was dead, especially after the record-setting 40-point loss of Liz Cheney in the great state of Wyoming. I thought it was dead. I thought that put the final nail in the coffin, only to find out that the corrupt and highly political Justice Department just appointed a super radical left special counsel, better referred to as a special prosecutor, to start the process all over again. We thought it was just about dead. As you know, just about the top person, one of the top people in the Justice Department, Lisa Monaco, a major Trump hater, I mean beyond belief, is in charge of the case, and she's totally controlled by Andrew Weissman. Do you ever hear the name Andrew Weissman? I think you did. In this room you did. Bad person, bad guy, but he's an even bigger Trump hater. Sounds like a fair deal so far, do you agree? Who works tirelessly as he did on the Mueller scam, which ended up, as you know, no collusion, to do bad things to the greatest movement. They want to do bad things to the greatest movement in the history of our country, but in particular, bad things to me. But I've gotten used to it. It's lucky. It's lucky. A lot of people wouldn't get used to it so easily. This is a rigged deal, just as the 2020 election was rigged, and we can't let them get away with it. We can't do it. We cannot let this happen to our country. I've been going through these investigations and hoaxes and scams from the day I came down the escalator at Trump Tower, and you'd really say enough is enough. Got to get back to work. Got to prove that we have a great country again, because right now it's not great. Right now it's a laughing stock all over the world, and we sort of all had it. The people of the country have had it. Joe Biden is a corrupt and incompetent political hack, and you take a look at all of the money that he's taken from foreign countries and others, much of it through his son, Hunter, who is a corrupt drug addict and implementer for his father. Where's their special prosecutor, by the way? Where's their special? They said when I announced I had to do this. Well, he announced too. He said he wants to run. Where's their special prosecutor? And we are innocent. They are not innocent by any stretch of the imagination. They have the proof right out there for all to see. They left the exact blueprint of much of the criminal activity is done on his laptop from hell, they call it, the laptop from hell, which was gotten inadvertently, but luckily for America, when he incredibly left it at the repair shop to be fixed. That was not a good day. That was not a good leave. I wonder if the father was upset about it. He may not have understood the meaning. Did he understand that that was not good? Because he said he's the smartest person I've ever known. Right? Hunter's the smartest person I've ever known. A lot of people shook their heads at that one. Does everybody remember the $1 billion of USA funds paid to Ukraine under the condition that they get rid of the prosecutor? That prosecutor's got to be fired. Remember that? Nothing gets done. Why isn't there a special counsel being set up for them? Tremendous corruption. They're corrupt people. They're criminals. I've done nothing wrong. They participated in massive criminal activity with many other nations. And one day after House of, you know what's happening, you take a look at what just went on with this election, which is so important because the House Republicans announced they were going to investigate the Bidens, and the Justice Department announces right after that they're going to investigate Trump. And it's not a fair situation what's going on. And I guarantee you they get a fair investigation. This will not be a fair investigation. But again, I thought this was all done or very close to being done. These people are corrupt, and yet they go after innocent people under the guise of legitimacy. Over the years, I've given millions and millions of pages of documents, tax returns, and everything else, and they have found nothing, which means I've proven to be one of the most honest and innocent people ever in our country. Larry knows that. They got everything. Millions, think of it. Like I hear 11 million pages. I built a great company. Now they see how great it is, now that they're looking at it. I built a great, great company. But think of it, millions of pages, they got nothing. So I've sort of had it. On January 6th, I've already tried, and you take a look with the fake impeachment hoax, and I won. I was tried on the fake impeachment hoax on January 6th. And they tried it in the Senate. They went through the whole process, and we won. We went through the whole process. So wouldn't this sort of be and then you take a look at the other. We went through two of them, and isn't this sort of like double jeopardy? In the old days, they used to call it double jeopardy. But essentially, we've done so well, and we did well in a very hostile Congress. We had great Republican support. I have to tell you that. It was great because they saw something was really unfair. We were being unfairly treated. I made a perfect phone call. In fact, many of the people in this room called. They said, that call is perfect. And some of the people in the room would not have actually gone with us, but that was an absolutely perfect phone call. I got impeached for a perfect phone call. Could you imagine if the call was actually a bad call? Could you imagine that? And on the document hoax, this is a total hoax that's going on. The Presidential Records Act and the Clinton Sox case, you know what that is, right? That's a case that's so powerful in our favor. Make everything that I've done totally legal and proper. It's totally legal and proper. This is just a witch hunt for no reason. Well, for political reasons, let's say. And they know that. It shouldn't even be a case, but if it is, why aren't they investigating all of the other presidents that preceded me, including Bill Clinton, both Bushes, Obama, and of course Hillary Clinton, where she illegally deleted 33,000 emails after getting a top-level subpoena from the U.S. Congress. So she's allowed to get a subpoena and delete 33,000 after the subpoena, not before, after. Why aren't they going after all of those presidents that kept documents where, in a couple of cases, in one case they had it in a Chinese restaurant with broken windows. In another case, they had a Chinese restaurant connected to a bowling alley. This is where the documents were kept. They took documents with them. President Obama took documents. It is such a unfair situation that's happening in this country to Republicans and to conservatives. And you people have to fight. You have to fight. You have to be strong. If they're going to investigate me, they have to investigate all of these other presidents, and they have to start it right now. They have to invade. This is Mar-a-Lago. They have to invade Hillary and Bill Clinton's beautiful home in Westchester. They have to invade the Bush's home. They have to invade a lot of homes, but they didn't do that. And they took documents, they took a lot of things, and that's what we have the Presidential Records Act for. We're living in a very corrupt country right now. Never had anything like it. Our elections are rigged, tainted, and bad, and take forever to get results, longer than any other country on the planet. We have elections still out there, and they won't be in for weeks. Third world countries have their elections in that same day, or maybe the next day. We have weeks and weeks and weeks for far fewer. Look at France, all paper ballots, voter ID, same-day voting. They had 36 million votes all done by 10:30 in the evening, and no complaints. Nobody said, gee whiz, this was not a proper election. We're a third world country in our elections, and our borders are wide open with unknown people, many of them, many, many millions, millions and millions. Criminals, terrorists pouring into our country, millions. And don't believe when you hear 2 million or 3 million. I believe it's 10 million people. I believe it's 10 million. Our country is changing before our very eyes. We have no idea who these people are and where they came from. And they're terrorists, and they're criminals, and they're murderers, they're rapists. And they're pouring into our country totally unimpeded. We have massive inflation, rampant crime. You can't even walk down the streets in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and every other Democrat-run city without getting mugged, shot, or killed. In Chicago recently, they had 82 people shot, 82 over a weekend. But they said it was a long weekend. Oh, okay, that's better. It was a long weekend. In Afghanistan, when I was in charge, we didn't have one killing. Think of it. In 18 months, not one of our soldiers were killed. And then you look at Chicago and you look at other things. And we should have never left the way we left. I'm the one that started the leaving. I'm the one that got them down to the right number. But you leave the military, you take out the military last. We left people. We left American citizens. We left dead soldiers. And we left $85 billion worth of the best military equipment in the world. It's unthinkable what we did. And by the way, one of the largest sellers of military equipment right now in the world, I think number 2 or 3 right after us, is Afghanistan, the Taliban. They're one of the largest sellers of, they're selling, because they don't need 700,000 rifles. They don't need 77,000 trucks that we left behind. Many of them brand new, never even used. We have drugged out crazy people walking around. Our economy is crashing, and we're teetering on the brink of World War III, and the word nuclear is used in a very light fashion. It was never used before. You never heard the word used during the Trump administration, and it should never be used because of the power. It should never be used. Nobody should be allowed to use that word. And yet all the corrupt Marxists in the Biden administration can think about it. It's all they can think about. That's all they have in their mind is, come after Trump, we got to get Trump. They say they want to run against me, but they're spending fortunes. Let's take him out. If they really wanted to run against me, they'd say, let's leave him in. Let's leave him in. Because they are the party of misinformation. They give massive misinformation. They say one thing, but they mean another. And you have to understand them. They're sick people in so many ways. But we've done nothing wrong, and they've committed massive crimes. We're not going to let these atrocious abuses continue. We can't. As a party, we can't, and as a nation, we can't. We're going to stand up to these tyrants, and we're going to take away their power, and we're going to restore government for the people. That's what we have to do. As I said earlier this week, America's comeback starts right now. Starts right now.